Now, into one of my favorite portions of the meetings, in which, for me personally, I find the most anti-tepidity. Because it's untepid. Now, no. Okay. My first question. So living here in sunny California, a lot of people like it because of the constant warm weather, and then when it does cold, it's just actually tepid but not really frigid. However, some people would prefer seasons. I want to know, Britta, would you prefer seasons, or do you think that having a sunny, good weather all the time place is better? Which do you prefer?
I'm from Michigan, which is a cold weather climate. However, we do have 4 seasons. We have summer, and fall, winter, and spring. And there is a pronounced difference between each of those seasons. You can feel it in the air, you can see it, you can smell it. With the seasons changing, it's a really neat experience. So when I moved to California, way back when, there were no seasons, at least that I was aware of. There was nothing pronounced. The leaves didn't fall from the trees in September or October. There wasn't snow melting in the spring, unless you went up to the mountains. And it was really, took some time, some years for me to tune in to, well, there is actually a little bit of a change in seasons. It's subtle, but you have to experience it for quite a time before you understand that things are shifting. And so, in conclusion, I do want to say, though I love the subtlety of the seasons in California, it's a little monotonous for me. Another sunny day, oh boy. It's another sunny day in California. I like a little variety, so I'm going to go with change of seasons. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Yes. Sometimes when people get sick or catch a cold, they relish that opportunity to take a break, go home and rest, while others feel obligated to go push through and handle their responsibilities. Doug, you are now the director of sickness and colds for Northrop Grumman and have been charged with giving a new action. I want to know, he's not going to answer me. I want to know if, what's your direction? Should now, from here forth, should now everyone that's sick stay home, or should they power through?
Mr. Table Topics Master, thank you for that lovely tepid question. As the new director of health and wellness for Northrop Grumman proper, big sector, a lot of people. Everyone gets PTO. What you use it for is up to you, except when you're sick. The mandate, the direction, the good idea. When you're contagious, stay home. If you're really important, telework. But save your germs. You know, the fact of the matter is that somebody sneezes, and they walk up the handrail, and they just got 30 people that never even saw it coming. You know, because the fact of the matter is, from time to time, we will infect ourselves without even being aware of it. So, I know this is a tepid subject, and I'm going to have a tepid close. But the idea I'm passionate about, and that is the opposite of being tepid, is that if you've got cooties, if you're runny nose, if you're sneezing stuff that might be contagious, keep it out of this old building, please. Mr. Table Topics Master. Thank you.
Remind me, remind me of your name again?
John.
John. As you can see, this is such the untethered part of the game. Now, I want to know, do you feel comfortable maybe giving, I have an easy one for you. The easy one for you. Okay. The age-old debate. AC versus rolling the window down. Which do you prefer? And why?
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to speak on this topic today. I'm happy to be here as a guest, but I think this is a topic I understand well. To start off, I think I'm really quite sure about my answer. I do not like the window to be down unless I'm driving really slow. I don't like the wind blowing on my head, into my ear. It's distracting, it's kind of loud. I much prefer to have the air conditioner on. Yeah, I think that is all I have to say on that topic. I'm very happy to have been here.
Thank you. All right, how we doing on time? We have time for a couple more, yeah.
Plenty of
For sure. All righty then. All right. All right, James, I really need you to answer this for me because I'm conflicted here. No, there are times in which people with different temperature preferences have to share the same environment. In this case, who wins out? Because they have to compromise. Because if you prefer heat, the people who like cold, they can get the AC, cold water, or a fan. If it's too cold, you can carry a blanket with you. Who should win out in this debate? Who?
This is a tough answer.
Yeah.
Come from one that enjoyed all the seasons. I come from Maryland, where I experienced the hot and the cold. I honestly want to go with cold. I feel like you can always layer up, put a jacket on. But once you start getting into the heat and you start sweating and you're in a room with someone and that odor starts getting there, it becomes a problem. You don't have to deal with sweat in the cold. You can always layer up. But unlike in the heat, I mean, the odor really bothers me. I'm sorry. It kills me.
Yeah.
The sweat, the mugginess, even though I like working out. But there's no direct shower at your work. You can't go and change clothes. So I'm all for the cold.
Cold it is.
Cold, ice cold, by the way.
Okay. Becca, I promised you I would come up with one off the cuff, and I have. This is just for you. You know, a lot of times in our home, people love pets. We get pets from all over the world. We get huskies and put them in the desert. We get those weird hairless cats and put them in like cold places. I imagine that happens. Do you think that's unethical? Do you think people should be allowed to create whatever little environment in utopia with whatever animals they want? Or should we keep animals in their natural habitat?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. I often wonder that when I see people who live in Vegas and they have a husky, and I'm wondering, what are you thinking? And they say, it's cold most of the year, which I don't really believe. As kind of an offender myself, we had chinchillas growing up, but we lived in Michigan, and so it was okay part of the year. But in the summer, we kept them inside of the house in the air conditioning. They have very fluffy coats. They overheat pretty quickly. But I think that if you're gonna have an animal that's like really exotic, that's hard to keep in different temperatures, then you probably shouldn't do that. But if you can create an environment for them in your house and you're committed to that animal, like you're not gonna leave the chinchillas outside on a hot day, then I think it's okay to have those animals if you can create that environment for them.
Living in college dorms, I've experienced firsthand the magnificence of cold food, in particular pizza. I want to know, Quanice, what is one of your favorite foods to eat cold that is just, it has to be cold? Thank you.
If I had to choose which food I prefer cold, I would say gelato. Obviously, it should be cold. If it is not cold, if it is not actually frozen, then it would be very watered down, runny, and not as enjoyable to eat. All other food that is supposed to be warmed up, such as pizza, spaghetti, salmon, veggies, I prefer them to be warm. I'm not a fan of cold pizza, leftover pizza. I do eat leftovers, but they should be warm. So if I have to go to Whole Foods and use their microwave, although I didn't buy anything from them, I will go in and use the Whole Foods microwave in order to have hot food on the go. And I would keep a freezer bag to keep my gelato cold. It should be cold. Thank you.
You do know there are 2 microwaves on every floor, so you don't have to travel the whole floor.
I'm on the go. I missed that part. I'm on the go.
All right, okay. Speak about something near and dear to my heart. In most places, cities that you go in the world, they have air conditioning just built in. I think that's so rude. I hate air conditioning. Air conditioning for me is the devil. It does not feel good. It makes me sick. And the only good thing about it can hide weird smells. Dorm room. However, like I said, I think that is rude to just assume that people want this air conditioning. I want to know, Sharon, do you think that they should just assume we want air conditioning, or should they change their policy and ask you when you book, do you want an air conditioned room, or do you want a slightly tepid room?
As a 50-plus woman in the throes of menopause, I think every room in the country and abroad should have air conditioning. Otherwise, it can be very dangerous for those around us in the throes of menopause. If I book a hotel room and there is no air conditioning, I'm checking out. I will give them a bad review on Yelp. I will scream bloody murder so that my neighbors will hear it. In fact, I was in Vegas this past weekend. The air conditioning, as a matter of fact, on Friday night, my husband said the heater wasn't working. So I'm thinking to myself, it was cool on Friday, but I'm thinking to myself, why would you need the air conditioning? He says, I already called the front desk and they said unless it drops below 60, they won't come out. So my first question is, well, how cool or how warm is it in the room? He says it's right at 60, and I'm thinking, bingo, 60 is fine. So the first night we didn't have heat, which was fine with me. The second night, we had moved to another hotel room, which I keep the air conditioning on, I think, because I don't have to pay for the air. So when I go to stay someplace, whether I'm going to be in the room or not, the air conditioning is at 70, no less than that. Keep it on all night. I'm under the covers. My feet are out, and I'm happy with that. Again, as a consumer who does stay in hotels quite often, I do believe that air conditioning is definitely the way to go. Mr. Tabletop.
One more? Or that's it? Yeah, we're good.
Do one more, yeah.
Okay.
How about we throw Aaron under the bus and I give him one?
Run it.
Oh.
Run it.
You're not allowed to fish anymore.
Mm.
What are you gonna do as a hobby? Mr. Aaron Knight.
Fine, sir. I'm not allowed to fish anymore. I will scuba dive. Because the beauty about the fish, I like the intimacy of fishing. I can feel every move that this fish is making, and it's a battle between him and I. Oftentimes, I'm talking to the fish in my mind, not reminding them that I'm going to eat this fish. Scuba diving would give me that same pleasure. Not only would I be able to see them in their own environment, I'd be able to blend in, and that in itself is so intimate. So I'd be able to do that, and the beauty about catching fish to me sometimes is just looking at the darn thing. Just enjoying it, just seeing it in its essence, although it's dying. Now I can see it without it dying. I think that's the best. Not to mention, you won't be able to find me. That's one of my favorite things about going fishing, ocean fishing. I'm too far, I don't even have cell reception. I see the country over there, and I'm here. That's a beautiful thing for me. You won't find me 1,000 leagues under the sea. I can promise you that. Thank you. At this point, I will now turn it over to our Toastmaster for the day. Thank you.
Thank you for those